Hello again, just a quickish video today, as after I did my review on the You Are Sugar Holo Dip Powder from Born Pretty, I was asked how it compared to the actual Holo Dip Powder from Born Pretty themselves. Now, the You Are Sugar has no name, is just shade 11, and the one I have from Born Pretty is called Strawberry Fields. It is the only pink that I have, and they sort of don't look exactly the same from the pot, and you can see the size difference there. But I'm still rocking this on my Cindy hand as it is absolutely gorgeous. So we are going to do this one on a tip so we can do a comparison of the two colours. And as you can see, I bought this way back in February and I haven't even got round to using it yet. So let's just take off that packaging and then get rid of the seal protection foil cap. I find it easier to cut these off rather than try to pull them off with tweezers. And I'm not sure if the tip is going to actually fit in this little pot, but we will try. So let's continue cutting that round. There we go. And now let's have a look at the two colours side by side, and straight away you can notice there is a slight difference. But we're going to carry on and see what it looks like on the tip, if I can get my words out. So going in with the base, which is step 1 from Born Pretty store, as I'm using their dip powder liquids. Apply a nice even thin coat to the whole of the tip, and for the purpose of this video I'm only be going let's start again. For the purpose of this video I'm going to be dipping just twice. Now let's see if we can fit this in the pot. Yeah, we can. And obviously tap off, and then because it's on a tip, turn it round. So there you can see you've got a nice full coverage. We can get some focus. And just make sure I've got that all off. Let that sit and soak into the base for a bit. And then I'm going to come in with my kabuki brush and very gently dust off any excess powder. And I do find, if you see there on that tissue, I do find with the holographic ones there is quite a bit more than, say, a cream dip powder that you need to dust off. And there you can see, once I've dusted that off, the holographic quality has been revealed. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Not exactly the same either on the nail, but now I'm going to get, as always, a clean piece of tissue so I can clean my brush before I put it back into the bottle after I apply the second thin even covering the whole tip layer of number 1 base again. I do find with the holographic dip powders as well, if you have a clear dip powder, it's up to you. You could do a layer of clear, because I do find it does leave a textured finish. So we're going in with a second dip here. Make sure that's all covered. Again, tap off all of the excess. You can see that's nice and opaque now. But yeah, as I say, I find that they do leave a textured finish. I personally, when I did the You Are Sugar, didn't do a clear top coat, as once I gently filed and buffed to refine the shape of my nails and then applied the top coat, it was completely smooth. So that is just down to your own personal preference. Again, just gently dust off the excess pig powder. That reveals again the gorgeous hollow sparkle. And then coming in with number 2, the activator, and apply a generous amount to the whole of the nail, and this is what dries each of the layers of base and dip powder. My bottle is almost empty, so I'm making sure that I'm getting that totally covered. And then leave this for a minute or so to dry. You can test if it's dry by tapping the nail, and if you get a clicking sound, then you'll know that all the layers have dried. Doesn't really take too long. You can see there, that is super pretty, even though they don't exactly match. As I said, this is the only pink one I have from Born Pretty. I don't know off the top of my head if they have another shade of their own brand dip powder. So just feeling that now, and it still feels a little bit soft. I can feel the texture, but again, that's all down to personal preference. So we're just going to wait a few more minutes for that to dry. Okay, that's dry. So all I'm going to do for the purpose of this, I mean, it's pretty smooth and even coverage anyway, so I'm just coming in with my white buffing block and just buff the whole of the nail. The thinner and evener you do, if even is actually a word, but the thinner and more evenly you apply the base, the better the finished nail will look with dip powder, as you won't get it bulking up. And obviously it depends how you dip into your nail as to whether it pushes any of the base, because if you put a thick layer of base, as you push into the dip powder, sometimes you can have a tendency it pushes the base up, and that's how you get an uneven nail. But all I'm going in there is with another layer of the activator, and just wait for that to dry on the nail, and then come in with the final step, which is number 3, the top. And it's the activator that allows this to dry super quick. Again, a piece of tissue to wipe the brush after I've applied the top to the nail, and it gives it a super glossy finish. As you can see, that activator has dried. So a nice quick even coat, and wipe the brush, and that is it. Super glossy. If I can get some focus, it is a gorgeous shade. Not a complete exact match to the You Are Sugar shade 11, but equally in its own right is still beautiful. So I hope you like this sort of comparison post. As I said, it was the only Born Pretty pink holo dip powder that I have. So there we go. That's all for this quickish video today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.